Hello and welcome once again to my home. I'm Reverend Rick, and I'm going to talk to you today about some of the different major religions of the world. Um, all religions have good things, all religions have bad things. There is no right religion. If you listen to preachers for each of different religion, whether they be a preacher, an imam, a monk, or a rabbi, whatever, of course they all believe their religion is right. They all can't be right. Not one of them is better than the other. Christianity, based on New Testament, Christians believe that Jesus was born the Son of God, that he died for our sins. The major text there is the Bible, the New Testament. Christianity does wonderful things for the human race. Christianity is the largest religion in the world right now. It's got over 2 billion followers. Christianity encompasses a whole myriad of different religions. Christians can be Orthodox, they can be Mormons, they can be Baptists. There are a lot of different sub-religions that make up Christianity. The majority of the relief efforts in Haiti right now, which suffered a devastating earthquake, are faith-based groups that are down there feeding and taking care of people, digging people out of rubble. Christianity has some not so good things about it also. Historically, Christians have tended to persecute people who didn't think the way they do. During World War II, when 6 million Jews were being gassed and burned in ovens, the Roman Catholic Church just kind of sat by idly and didn't say anything. People use Christianity for their own gains. There's televangelists that make millions of dollars professing their faith and begging for money from old ladies that can't get out and go to church, so they watch them on TV. So there's good things and bad things about Christianity. Second biggest religion in the world is Islam. Islam was started about 1200 years ago. The basic concept of Islam is there was a guy named Muhammad. He was born around 754 AD, somewhere around there. And he was visited by Gabriel, the angel, one night. And Gabriel told him, "You're now God's messenger." So Muhammad became the messenger of God. And there's 5 fundamental beliefs in Islam. They're called the 5 pillars of Islam. The first one is to profess your faith, and that is by saying there is only one God and Muhammad is his prophet. Now, being that that's the first most important part of Islam, anybody that's not a Muslim, if you say that 3 times publicly in front of people, you're instantly a Muslim. The second part of Islam is prayer. Muslims are required to pray 5 times a day towards Mecca. Normally it's at sunrise, mid-morning, mid-afternoon, evening, and before they go to bed. They also ritualistically cleanse themselves before they pray. Another one is tithing. Muslims are required by their religion to give a portion of their earnings to charity. And they've been doing this for 1,000 years. They were some of the first people to start and institute social programs. Another one is fasting. They have an entire month called Ramadan where they fast from sunup to sundown to show their devotion. Between sunrise and sunset, they can't eat, they can't drink, they can't swear, no sex. After the sun goes down, gloves come off and who knows. And then there's the Hajj. The Hajj is where all Muslims that are capable are required to make a pilgrimage to Mecca, which is a holy city in Saudi Arabia. Once they get there, they walk 5 times around the big black square, which has a meteorite in it. Most people don't realize that. And that's a requirement. So some good things about Islam: first social institutions. Some bad things: basically, if you don't believe in Islam, they, per their holy book, the Quran, can cut off your head. In fact, the Quran is broken up into sutras, and one of them says, behead all non-believers, and when you're done killing them all, gather up the leftovers and tie them up. It's not exactly that, but it's pretty close. Another religion is Judaism. And Judaism is one of the oldest established religions we have. It was the founder is thought to be Moses, about 2000 BC. Judaism is based on the first 5 books of the Old Testament, which is called the Torah. And they've been around for a long time. Some good things about Judaism: they were pretty much the first religion, or one of the first. An issue with Judaism that a lot of people have problems with, and I think understandably so, is a lot of Jewish followers think that they're the chosen people, that they're the children of God. God's, favors them above all others. And that comes across as kind of arrogant and kind of honestly pisses people off. So Judaism has its good points and bad points. Hinduism has been around just about as long as Judaism. There's about 900 million Hindus, and basically what they believe is this thing called Atman Brahman, where there is no one God. God is everything. There's basically think about it as a pool of water, and everything comes from that pool. When we're born, you take a drop of water out of that pool, which is the one, and that's who we are. When we die, we go back into that pool, and depending on how we live our lives will determine how we come back in the next life. Good things about Hinduism: there's thousands of gods. Pick one, whichever suits you, you're good to go. Something that kind of sucks about Hinduism is they have what's called a caste system, which they categorize people. It's sponsored discrimination. So if you live a good life in this life, you'll come back at a higher level in the next life until ultimately you reach nirvana or wherever you're going. The last major religion is Buddhism. Buddhism is based on the teachings of a man named Siddhartha Gautama, who basically at the age of 34 decided he needed to know more about the universe. He fell asleep under a tree, became enlightened, and spent the next 40 years teaching his beliefs to other people. Now, he died at the age of 80. Buddhists are pretty passive people. I don't really see a downside to Buddhism. But that's it for the major religions. They all got their good points, they all got their bad points. The thing I would say take away from this is don't judge people based on your religion or your beliefs. Judge people on how you see them. Okay? I treat people the way they treat me. That's how everybody should treat people. Don't judge people. Don't treat them harshly if you don't know them. Just treat people the way you want to be treated. And this will be a lot nicer place to live. This is Reverend Rick. See you next week.